The if-else selection structure. So what is if? If is like this box, and whenever a condition is true, then it will select the true branch. Otherwise, it will select the false branch. Fine. So it depends on you whether you have used true or false. In if structure, by default, whatever written here, the next immediate line is considered as true, and after that, it is just uh, after that, if no else is there, then this is just considered as sequence. Okay, this is true. If this condition is true, then if it is false, automatically move to sequence. Or if I had written else somewhere else, so it will start jumping from this if to this else. So whenever you are writing if condition, be careful. Just put one curly brace. How many statements you want to execute, just put the curly brace. It automatically use all the statements. Okay, suppose if you want to print if a is greater than b, and if this condition is true, a is greatest. Okay, this is inside printf, and after that you want to write something, hello everyone, okay, etc. So just if you want to print both the statement, or if you want to do certain more things, so you need to use curly braces inside that. If else specifies an action to be performed both when the condition is true and when the condition is false. Only if it says that we have checking for true condition. If true condition is there, then it will print the true. Otherwise, all the sequences will be print. Okay. If it is false, then except the true condition, it will print all these things. So if student's grade is greater than or equals to 60, print pass, else fail. So one more thing, note spacing indentation conventions. Okay, so this indentation I had already shown you that it is very important. So here I had shown one if example of if for even and odd number. Okay, whether the number is even or odd, and it is just shown for ternary conditional operator. What is ternary? If you are writing that if grade is greater than or equals to 60, printf pass, else printf fail. If you want to write this statement in shorthand method, not shortcut, shorthand method, so you can write print percentage and then grade is greater than or equals to. So this is just like this is written as inside this printf you have written if grade is greater than or equals to 60%, then after that next statement will be your printf pass. Okay, and else printf fail, the same statement. Okay, so how this construct is going on, let me explain. If the person who has not attended the last class, so don't bother about it. Our classes for computer programming will start from tomorrow. Okay, revision classes will start from tomorrow, so they can join there also. Just read the means. If you are not able to understand, then there is problem, but it is very simple thing. If you are speaking in English, then what is your statement? यदि marks ग्रेटर देन 60% है तो हम उसको पास डिक्लेयर करेंगे, और नहीं है तो फेल डिक्लेयर करेंगे, बस यही लिखा है. So that's all in this also. So instead of writing all these things together, okay, instead of writing all these things together, we use one shorthand statement. You want to print this and this. Okay, so for printing this, there are two different way. Either you just put the condition outside the print, or you just put the condition inside the print. If you are putting inside the print, then %s will be required. %s, this %s is to print any string. Okay, to print any string. What is a string? A string is a set of character like your name, like this 3 is one string, take 3 argument is one string. So this is combination of character. and if you are writing %s, then it will become single character. Fine. So printf grade is greater than or equals to 60, pass or fail. So here I had shown the same example for even and odd number. You can see that if a is greater than, I had not changed the example. If a mod 2, a mod 2 means this is modular division. If you are dividing any number by 2, so there may be two possibilities. It will left remainder as 0 or 1. It will left remainder as 0 when the number is even, and it will left the remainder as 1 if the number is odd. Fine. ये जो प्रोग्राम है, this program is for printing sum और विषम संख्या. फाइन. if यदि आप इसमें मॉड वाला डिवीजन करते हैं तो आपको रिजल्ट जो मिलेगा वो या तो सम संख्या में मिलेगा या विषम संख्या में मिलेगा. फॉर दिस पर्पस वी हैव रिटन दिस प्रोग्राम. बट इफ यू वांट टू मेक दिस स्टेटमेंट एज शॉर्ट हैंड, यदि आप इस स्टेटमेंट को एकदम एक लाइन में करना चाहते हैं, देन you need to go for this. The first thing is whatever string you want to print, either this or this. If this is true, then it will print even, and if this is false, then it will print odd. Fine. So what is our condition? What is the replacement of if? So this is the replacement of if. Instead of writing if, we have written simple condition, then question mark. Question mark ask. Question mark. Why we have put question mark here? It will check whether it is true or false. Suppose the number is 24, then this condition is true and it will display even. If the number is odd, then suppose the number is 25, this condition will discard it and it will print odd. यदि आप इस नंबर को a mod 2 से चेक करते हैं तो a mod 2 का मतलब ये होता है कि आप इस तरह से भाग दे रहे हैं and you are writing 2. Mod 2 means 2 and this a is 24. 24 divided by 2 आपने किया तो 12 करने पर 12 times आपने divide किया and here it will appear 24 and the remainder is 0. That's why this number is even number, otherwise it is odd number. Agree or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if anyone is having any doubt, if a person is from Hindi medium also can ask personally in phone also, fine. Whenever I am not busy, I will reply to your queries. So let me show you the if-else selection structure, flow chart of if-else selection structure. Here, the same statement is written and I am still in if-else, but I am showing you flow charting. Okay, in this flow chart, it is recommended that you need to put the diamond box, and this circle says that it is coming from somewhere else. So if the grade is greater than or equals to 6C, if it is true, then it will print pass, otherwise it will print fail. Fine. So nested if structure test for multiple cases by placing if else selection structure inside if else selection structure. One condition is met, rest of the statement skipped. Deep indentation usually not used in practice. So it is always recommended that don't use multiple if else until and unless you have the dedicated flow. Otherwise it will be very hazardous. Okay, like in previous program I had shown you that it is printing all these things. It will print the true and it will print the false also. Fine. So this is one pseudo code for nested if structure. If student's grade is greater than, so let me show you one more pseudo code in C language also parallel to this. If grade is greater than or equals to 90, then print A. Else if, again if is coming, then I need to put this if inside this else, and then student's grade, because if is written, if a student's grade is greater than or equals to 80%, then it will print B. Fine. Else, again one more else is there. This else is for this. If this condition is true, it will print A. Otherwise, it will check for next condition. And if this condition is true, it will print B. Otherwise, again, it will go for the next condition. And this condition says that grade is greater than or equals to 70%. Then it will print C. Fine. And after that, again, you need to check. Again, you need to check for else, and one more if is there. So this indentation is very, very important. Fine. And finally, it will print F. So this is, if this is not true, then it will jump to this. If this is not true, then jump to this. If it is not true, then jump to this. And finally, if all the conditions were false, then it will print F. Fine. So this is the if else selection structure, and there is if else compound statement. If grade is greater than or equals to 60%, printf pass. Now, whatever I had told you in last time, if you want to print multiple lines or multiple computations simultaneously inside that false branch, you must write this curly braces. Okay, curly braces says the domain of this falsity. This is false. आप यदि कोई भी प्रोग्राम लिख रहे हैं और उसमें if को लिखा, if you want to go for multiple statements for true or false, like in this falsity, we have need we are going to print two statements, and these are the two statements. By default, if then this line, and else then this line is only if this is for true and this is for false. And if I am writing multiple lines, only this line will be printed along with all these lines if the condition is true, and if the condition is false, then this line will be ignored and remaining all line will be printed if we are not putting curly braces over here. Okay, so be careful while writing curly braces. You must use the practice of using curly braces, but using curly braces, you must know the scope of curly braces if you are using multiple if statement. Okay, so without the braces, the statement printf, you must take this course again, would executed automatically because it is the part of sequence. It is not part of if or else. So that's why this is very, very important. Fine. Then block. What is inside that if and else? Compound statement with declaration. Suppose I want to print, I want to check whether A is greater than B. If A is greater, okay, my program is if A is greater, then I need to check whether the number is even or odd. Okay, so inside that I will write once more, one more time, that if A mod B is equals to 2, okay, then it will print success. It will print success. This is just a program. There is no logic behind this. Fine. Otherwise, because there is no otherwise, or inside that I'm printing one more statement, printf apple. Okay, then printf Samsung. Fine. And after that, I had closed this statement and now write else printf not succeeded. Fine. So in this type of program, what happened? If I'm not using this, then what will be the result? And if I'm using, then what will be the result? I will show you in after completing this. Fine. So be careful. What is the use of this scope? This is known as scope or block. Syntax error. caught by compiler. It is caught by compiler, but logical error will not be caught by compiler. Fine. Logical error means my nesting is wrong. Then how do compiler knows that what I want to do? So have their effect at execution time, non-fatal. Like in previous program, whatever I did was the logical error. Fine. And this is just an example of logical error. I will show you the correct program also. How this correct program, because I had tried with positive loop. I had tried with positive branching. That's why it has given me some logical error. I had tried with negative also, so it will give us a very means correct answer. So up to this, I am not going to explain you while I want to show you the case switch if it is there. Otherwise, multiple ifs are there. Fine. Okay. So case switch is not given in my slide. I will show you case switch later on. Before going to this, I will show the programs also. Till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yes.
सर मेरा एग्जाम है आज से 10 बजे से, तो सर मैं ये बोल रहा सर आज मेरी आप अटेंडेंस लगा देंगे?
ठीक है विकास.
जी सर.
ठीक ठीक ठीक, आप चले जाइए, अभी चले जाइए. और आप रिकॉर्डिंग और कल भी एग्जाम है आपका?
यस सर. सर 2 नवंबर तक है.
अच्छा, ये यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जाम चल रहे हैं क्या आपके?
नहीं सर, वो मेरे बीएड के एग्जाम है. यस सर.
ठीक ठीक है ठीक है, आप चले जाइए.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
फाइन. So because I had shown you the structure, nested if structure is hazardous, so there is one simple structure, and this is known as switch case. Okay, in this switch case, one switch will be there. Okay, this switch will accept the values. Just write this statement, and whenever the program will come, it will automatically coming into your practice. So like a mod 3, I am writing a mod 3, b value equals to a mod 3. So what will be the result? Either 0 or 1 or 2. Fine. And no result other than this will be coming. So whenever I am switching this value, so this value will go to this place. If the value is 1, then it will print some different thing. Here a string will be used. Okay, otherwise case 1, case 2, case 0 can be written. So instead of writing multiple if statement, just write switch and case. So this is known as switch and case branching. Fine. Useful when variables or expression is tested for all the values if it can assume the different action are taken. So this is the structure of switch case. And break, exit from the structure. If you want to exit from this structure, just write break. Okay, whenever you are writing break instead of writing actions, so it will automatically take break from this structure. And this is the flow chart. If you have written this statement, then it is very good. Fine. And this default is always present. If you want to, suppose a mod 17 I had written, okay, and I want to print for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only, then all other conditions 0 and 6 to 16, all other condition, if you want to print error or something, some other thing you want to print, then it will come under default. Default means if these conditions, all these conditions are false, then automatically it moves to default statement. So there will be default case also. Okay, this is default case. Fine. And this is the structure. Case A, case B, multiple cases are there. If this case is true, it will print this. If this is false, and it will check for this. If it is true, it will be printed, and so on. If all these conditions were false, then it will print the default action. Fine. So this is the structure of default. And here you can see this is the simple program counting letter grades. Okay. So enter letter grades. If you are entering A, B, C, D, or E, F, whatever, if you are means if you are using any grade, it will automatically count. Initially the value of count is 0, and this program is little bit complicated. Fine. So I'm not going to explain you. Little bit complicated for you, although it is very simple, and some of you might have the value of this program and they are able to understand that here while is also there. That's why I'm not going to explain, because till now I had not completed any loops. Fine. So let me show you some program related with case and switch. So let us start. Now up to this time, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I think more than 50% is having doubt. So it is my request, from tomorrow onwards, I am taking extra classes. Okay. And this is based on programming. Yes. Any doubt? See, this is the original structure. Whatever we have calculated in previously, we have written this program for only average, and now this program is written for enter the marks. Maximum marks is 15, and it is checking whether the marks are greater than 50 or less than 0. So if you are writing like this is negative branching. If this condition is false, if this condition is true, automatically it will exit from program. If this is false, then check for next input. Okay. If this is again false, means the false condition is true, then it will exit from the program. So let me show you the running program. Suppose I had written 34, 34, and 34. It will execute the program, and it will write that this is the person who is failed by 51%. If I'm making mistake in first statement itself, it will automatically exit from the program. I had written 56. Okay. Now illegal input marks must be between 0 to 55, 50. Sorry. And it will exit from the loop. Okay. So this is the program. So how do I build this program? Initially it was written for this much. Okay. This much, that percentage equals to maths plus physics plus BME, and if percent is greater than or equals to 60, print pass with this much percent or fail with this much percent. Now I had changed the program. As soon as I receive the first input, I will check whether the program has marks between 50, 0 to 50 or not. So this statement says that if the marks is greater than 50 and less than 0, then this will be illegal input. Okay, means the marks is negative or more than 50 is illegal input, because you are trying to get marks from 50. Okay. Sorry. So it will print illegal input, and then all the things I had put inside false statement. All the things, whatever next statements are there, all the things are there inside this false statement. Fine. After that, if this condition is true, then only it will jump to this. Fine. If this condition is false, not true, this condition is false, then so that's why this scoping is very important. I am selecting here and it will displaying here, and then again here, and then again here. So now next is enter the physics marks. After entering the physics marks, checking for the same, and if the this requirement is not satisfied, then I will print means if it is not satisfied, then I will print that illegal input, otherwise go for next statement. And likewise, up to this place we have just validated, and this is known as validation. Why it is known as validation? Because you're checking whether the person has written 50 marks or 100 marks. So the person is entering less than 50 or less than 100 or not. Okay, after that, if you are able to acquire all the marks, it will calculate the percent. So this is our scenario, and this is the multiple if statement. Okay, little bit complicated in view, but if you want to go for much better screen, then use case switch. Okay, now come to
Sir, I
yes,
want
this
to ask something.
yes.
Sir, in this percentage will be come in the float statement, na, sir. Why integer? Because the percentage also is in the points also.
Okay, if you are I had no problem with writing this percentage in floating point, but because I am checking the percentage, I'm just checking the percentage, I am not giving the percentage marks. Okay, if you are going for this, let me write float also,
Okay, sir.
and better to see what is the output. Okay, oh, one error is there, and this error is percent %d. I am writing percent tab everywhere, percent tab, and just see what kind of error will come. Okay, then we will discuss. Any other places with no percent tab? Only 3 inputs are there and 2 outputs are there. Fine. So I had written 45.5, then 45.5, then what, 56.9. Okay, answer. So there is no error, and now this program is running with percent. So do you have any problem? Yes.
No, sir.
Now is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all about multiple ifs and multiple else and multiple statements also, compound statements also. Let me write one program, and this is the program for case switch. Okay. So I'm writing a program for case switch. Case switch case or switch as WITCH case. Include stdio.h, and with first statement you need to save this program. So this is case switch. Fine. Integer main, value. क्या चाहिए, printf enter any value. Fine. Switch. So what is the structure of case switch? Let me copy and paste from here. Okay. So there are a lot of things. So I'm not able to copy this. Yes, yeah. Switch the value, enter the value, and you need to scan the value also. Scanf %d within double quote %d and comma address of value. Fine. Now switch is your value, and if you are writing anything, and yes, value and a, much better to write this. And let me write this as a, and the value of value equals to a mod 5. Case 1, because it is integer value, I'm writing simple 1. It is not character. Integer 2, case 2. Action is you have printed case 1. What you have printed? Printf you have entered %d, comma 1. Case 2, you have entered so this is not value. This is a program which will take input from user, and it will print if the user has entered any number. If the remainder is 1, then it will print you have entered that remainder. If remainder is 1, then it will print you have entered 1. Okay. If remainder is 2, you have entered 2. Otherwise it will print you have entered something else. And I had written a mod 3, a mod 5. Let me clarify this program, because this logic is not very useful for you, means it is ridiculous. So let me write 2 more cases, and better to write remainder with remainder for your number. Okay. Remainder for your number is %d, and this is right thing. So this is for 2, this is for 3, this is for 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And now whatever value will be there, it will print you have entered something else. Fine. But it is for 0 because only one remainder will be there. If you divide any number from 5, it will always produce a remainder from 0 to 4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me run this program. Okay, this percent is not there. So I had entered 45. What will be the remainder? Anyone? 45 mod 5. If you divide this number 0. So it will print you have entered something else. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let me run the program once again. Suppose I had entered 43. So what will be the output? Anyone?
Sir, remainder will be 3.
Remainder will be
3.
3. Okay. So are you able to getting this point that remainder will be 3 and it will print which statement?
Remainder for your number is 3.
Remainder for your number is 3. So this is your answer. Remainder for your number is 3. Remainder for your number is 3. You have entered something else. Now, what is the problem? Let me run this program once again. So I will show you one problem with this program. Okay. This is the problem and I need to show you. So this is our last statement. Now let me write once again 43. Instead of writing 43, let me write a number which will produce remainder as 1. It will display all the statement. Remainder for your number is 1. This is printed correctly because %d value. Here in this program, if I am showing this switch, okay, this switch will take from here and the answer is 1. So case 1 will be executed. After that, all the statement will be executed. If you are not interested to execute all these statements, then you need to write break. Okay. Otherwise, it will print all the statement. Break means it will break the sequence. It will break the sequence of this execution. Let me now write break. And for default, there is no requirement to write the break. Fine. Now, let us run the program once again. So it is important. I had not any break. And initially I had tried with 45. Then this program will automatically executed last statement. That's why there is no problem. But if I am writing 41, then it will print you have entered remainder for your number is 1 and it will exit from the loop. So that's why we are using break. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Now it is your task that take any number from user. Okay, take any number from user. If and based on this number, if the number is divisible by 5, then it will print then it will the number is divisible by 5, and if it is not divisible by 5, then it will print it is not divisible by 5 using switch case. How do you produce this?
Sir, in default, we write the number is not divisible. Yes.
Yes. How many case statement is required here? मेरा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आपको एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम लिखना है जिसमें किसी भी नंबर को 5 से डिवाइड करने पर यदि रिमाइंडर बचता है Okay, this operator is remainder operator. Okay, remainder मतलब होता है शेषफल. So जब आप किसी नंबर को डिवाइड करते हैं, जैसे कि 45 या 46 को आपने डिवाइड किया, so 46 divided by 5 will produce remainder as 1. जब आप 46 को 5 से भाग देते हैं तो ये जो है आपको एक शेषफल प्रोड्यूस करता है, एंड दिस शेषफल विल बी 1. फाइन. यस और नो? तो अब आपको एक प्रोग्राम का स्टेटमेंट लिख के जल्दी से बताना, जल्दी से. और ये टास्क मैं देता हूं सबसे नए स्टूडेंट को. तुषार हरिन खेड़े गायब. वाह. श्रीराम बंसल, आप इस प्रोग्राम को देखो. और ये जो स्टेटमेंट है मैं आपको एक बार और बता रहा हूँ, ये स्टेटमेंट ऐसा स्टेटमेंट है जो रिमाइंडर प्रोड्यूस करता है. दिस स्टेटमेंट विल प्रोड्यूस द रिमाइंडर ओनली. Okay, so based on this remainder it will go to this particular condition, and this one is, if the remainder is 1, automatically it will move to 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Okay, so you need to write a program which will take input from user, and the input is what, any number. It may be 529. If the number is divisible by 5, it will is divisible by 5. Otherwise it will print the number is not divisible by 5. And I want to know how many statements are required to complete this program. Shriram Bansal, over to you. शैलेश भाई, स्मिथ शैलेश भाई, ओम प्रकाश.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me, or just means in your own word, just explain the program using switch case, which will take number from user. Okay, and it will take any number from user, and it will calculate the value, or it will calculate the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then it will print the number is divisible by 5. If the remainder is any other value, then it will print the number is not divisible by 5. So how do you create a program for this?
Sir, in this two cases will be created.
Hmm.
First we take the number,
Hmm.
then we will divide it from the 5. If the remainder is 0.
You will not divide it from 5. You will use modulus division operator.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you
Yes, sir.
divide means a/5. But if you are using a%5, it will automatically produce remainder. Fine. Okay.
Okay,
Next
sir.
statement.
Sir, फिर in case
Hmm.
if the remainder is 0,
Hmm.
then it is divisible by 5.
Yes.
And if the anything else, any or the else or any else remainder will be created out, then it will not be divisible by 5. So, sir, in first case we will input a, सर उसके अंदर हम एक कंडीशन डाल देंगे, अगर रिमाइंडर 0 आया तो वो डिविजिबल बाय 5 है, और डिफॉल्ट के अंदर फिर अपन डाल देंगे इट इज़ नॉट डिविजिबल. Sir,
Audible to all of you? Any doubt? Satvik, Gaurav,
No, sir, no doubt.
no doubt till now. So let me download your attendance, and with this we finish this lecture. And from tomorrow, okay, tomorrow at 8 a.m. I will start C programming. Fine, C programming, nothing else, because all the computer fundamental we have covered, and we will start C programming. So we will start at 8 a.m. So those who are having problem, and don't tell that you are not able to understand if you are not joining that class. Fine, because it requires a lot of practice. So without practicing programming, you won't be able to get the answer of anything. Fine. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice time.
So